You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Man, this game is starting to feel really massive, and there's a couple of different directions it could go, honestly. It was going to be big. If you want to look at my predictions that I made in the offseason, I predicted Ole Miss to lose this game to Oklahoma on the road. I had an L at Georgia and an L at Oklahoma. So I'm under no illusions that this is going to be an easy game for Ole Miss. But this game has gotten huge because of LSU kind of that win becoming less and less impressive over the course of the season. And LSU has a legit chance to be the team that is the FSU of this season. They're not going to go 2-10. I'm not saying that because they've made it to this point before they've lost their third game. But let's say Texas A&M beats them in Tiger Stadium, which I think that's the first time in a while that a team that's been against LSU that's not Alabama has been favored in Tiger Stadium. Let's say Texas A&M wins that game, goes to 8-0. LSU at that point will be 4-3. I think, with losses to Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and Texas A&M. 3 conference losses. Their whole season is shot. You still have Alabama on the schedule. You still have a road game at Oklahoma. And this all happening after you spent $20 million on your roster in the transfer portal. They might pack it all in. Seriously. So with that happening, you need the win of Oklahoma just to have somebody with a number beside their name so you don't become Indiana or somebody like that in this playoff thing. So when you just take that on its own, this Oklahoma game is going to become more important. Now, add in the fact of the Florida job coming open the week that it came open, which the South Carolina game would have taken on added importance if this would have waited yet another week, okay? But the way it sits right now, the Oklahoma game's importance and the Lane Kiffin and the Florida and all of that stuff, it's gotten to the point where Ole Miss needs to win this game to prove that they are a playoff team so that they can protect themselves against the schools like Florida and whoever else comes open saying, oh, you cannot win a championship at Ole Miss. Ole Miss needs to make the playoffs this year. They genuinely do because of that. You want that rhetoric to go away. You need Ole Miss to go at a minimum 10-2, but they need to beat Oklahoma to 10-2 to get the home game as well. This is a massive game, and you have Brent Venables and you have the Oklahoma Sooners, and John Mateer is going to be a little bit better. They might not have been very good offensively, but they're still working through some stuff. You need to go up there to the Palace on the Prairie and win the game. Again, I have no animosity towards Oklahoma. None whatsoever. Even though that Ole Miss and Oklahoma are lifelong rivals that have spanned 2 centuries. Oklahoma will eventually win the game, but to this point, Ole Miss has never lost to them. Over 2 centuries. I have no animosity towards my Oklahoma Sooner brethren, but this game means so much more for Ole Miss than it does for Oklahoma at this point. There's a meaning factor to this game, to the point where if Ole Miss loses to Oklahoma, they might lose another game a little bit later on the season. On our Discord, we were talking about there's a poster saying if Ole Miss loses to Oklahoma, they're going like 8-4. And I have a difficult time arguing that. But if Ole Miss wins this game, they're going to win out. They're probably going to go to Atlanta. Now, Georgia has the tiebreaker, but one loss at the end of the day, you're probably going to be okay. So we'll see exactly how that goes. This game has become absolutely massive for Ole Miss because of the playoff, because of the coaching carousel, because of all that stuff. Just the public perception and the ability to shape narratives around the country when talking about Ole Miss as a job, you need to win this game. An absolutely massive massive football game. Anyway, thank you for making Locked On Ole Miss your go-to source for Ole Miss sports. We pride ourselves in offering the most comprehensive perspectives, which is why we are the front door of Ole Miss. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the show, and it is completely free. Your support means the world to us. And another big moment for Locked On, college football fans. Locked On and Fire TV are presenting College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12, they're leading the conversation. A two-time AP Coach of the Year, Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. It's a college football kickoff only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Howdy toddy, everyone, and remember, analytics is just the old English word that means bad football. We'll see you tomorrow.